And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
President Trump's first speech to a joint session of Congress of his second term was the longest in modern history, and it was quite eventful.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Now, I've never actually seen that before, but House Speaker Mike Johnson threw out a sitting member of the House of Representatives. That's Representative Al Green, a Democrat from Texas, who the speaker said was disrupting President Trump's speech. You could see him being escorted out there by the Sergeant-at-Arms.
But what was Representative Green so upset about? Well, he started shouting when Trump was talking about his election victory. Green stood in the aisle, raised his cane, and said, "No mandate," suggesting that Trump's victory was not as large as he was suggesting during his speech. Representative Green, by the way, no fan of President Trump. He filed impeachment articles against Trump during his first term and has suggested that he plans to pursue impeachment again against Trump in this term. But outbursts during a presidential speech to Congress are not new. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene yelled "Laken Riley" at President Biden's State of the Union speech last year.
Really?
The year before that, she was standing up in her chair shouting "liar" over and over at President Biden.
I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. Well, I'm glad to see.
And in 2022, Representative Lauren Boebert shouted out at President Biden as he spoke about his son Beau and burn pits.
I know.
For the record, none of those members of the House were thrown out of the chamber during President Biden's speech. He just continued to talk. Now, besides that drama, a few other tidbits about tonight. Trump spoke for a whopping 1 hour and 40 minutes, which makes this the longest speech a president has delivered in modern history to the joint session of Congress or as a State of the Union address. The second longest speech was President Clinton's State of the Union in the year 2000, which clocked in at 1 hour and 29 minutes. Congress applauded Trump tonight more than 95 times, though the applause really only came from Republicans, which has now become very customary. You can see Democrats sitting down throughout, and most of them you can see were wearing pink. According to the chair of the Democratic Women's Caucus, they were wearing pink to protest what they say are Trump's actions that put their safety and security at risk. Now, there was one special moment that Democrats and Republicans did both applaud for. That's when President Trump asked the U.S. Secret Service director to make a 13-year-old cancer survivor who wants to be a police officer when he grows up an honorary Secret Service agent. A few other little tidbits. Only 4 of the 9 sitting Supreme Court justices attended tonight's speech. Chief Justice John Roberts was there, along with Justice Elena Kagan, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Now, you guys always want to know who the designated survivor is. This year, it was the Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins. The designated survivor, in case you don't know, is the person in the presidential line of succession who is kept away from the others in the line when they are all gathered together in the same place. So if there is some kind of, God forbid, catastrophic event and the entire line of succession is wiped out, the designated survivor would then become the leader of the country. Obviously, it's never happened. It's just a precaution. I will have a full recap of the substance of President Trump's speech in my Facts HQ email tomorrow. So if you have not done it already, I highly suggest you sign yourself up.